I'm Billy Lopez alongside Hal Hargrave, and welcome to Ortmeyer Stadium here in the lovely Laverne, California for tonight's SCIAC matchup between the visiting Claremont Mudscript Stags and the home Laverne Leopards. This week's is homecoming week at the University of Laverne. This year theme was Marvel, and homecoming festivities started off on Monday the 23rd at Sneaky Park. They had some sidekick reveals where 5 faculty members and 5 students would be chosen. They did a hero voting this year for 1 faculty and 1 student member, so gone is the king and queen and in comes the heroes. On Tuesday, they provided archery tag at the Fairplex. Wednesday night, they had some laser tag and some do-it-yourself booths. Thursday at Sneaky Park, they had the theme of Sneaky Spidey, where students were able to climb a Velcro wall, and Jacob's Ladder was provided as well there. And if you were able to climb the ladder all the way to the top, you'd get some pretty cool prizes. And on Friday in the gym, they had a pep rally and some food trucks. Earlier today, they had club fair booths and outdoor lunches. Tailgating going on in the parking lots provided by Leo FM and DJ Santana giving all the music out there today. CMS will be under the tutelage of head coach Kyle Sweeney, who is in his 7th season at CMS. If Coach Sweeney can lead CMS to a victory tonight, he will pick up his 21st win in SCIAC as a coach. And at the helm for Laverne is head coach Chris Creek, who is also in his 7th season as head coach at Laverne. Coach Creek will be looking for Laverne to put together a full game of smart competitive play. That's 2 halves to even up their SCIAC record at 2-2 this year. As we take a look at the standing, you see Claremont Mudscript 2-2 in SCIAC. Overall 3-3. Laverne 1-2 in SCIAC, 2-3 overall. It's a huge game for both teams. Both teams looking to save their season here. Hal, what can we expect?
Well, you look back to just a week ago, and it was the Laverne defense that had all kinds of problems with that of the running back of Joe Moody, 166 yards on the ground, 2 touches. Jacob Isabel, the premier receiver across SCIAC, 171 yards via receiving with that of 1 touchdown from Ricky Batista. Laverne has got to eliminate the big play on defense tonight. In terms of their offense, it's going to be a tough night for them. We know that. CMS can stack the box. But what we do know, Josh Evans not suited up in tonight's matchup. He went down with a foot injury at the end of last game. So what you're going to see is a different quarterback at the helm tonight. We're going to have to see how Laverne manages the run tonight heading into the game. Plenty of players to watch in tonight's matchup. And it's going to be quite exciting because you're going to have Robert Fernandez behind whoever it might be. We would assume Matt Simcoe at the helm for Laverne tonight. He's got 342 yards on the ground this season with 2 touchdowns, and he has 68 yards per game. That is right now 5th in SCIAC. Mike Medina is going to be a need-to-be big change of pace back for Laverne today. He's got 144 total yards on the season. He's averaging 36 a game with 2 touchdowns on the season. For Laverne, they're also going to have to get it done through the air. Whether it's Matt Simcoe or Sam Taylor, they're going to have to rely on guys like Dejon Logan. He's got 156 yards on the year with 2 touchdowns. Dejon Logan, a threat for Laverne. Jelani Garnett, he talks all the time about the competition that he loves at practice. Among them, he likes it with Dejon Logan. He's got 142 yards on the year and averaging nearly 13 yards per catch. Matt Simcoe, the expected starter today. Last week, he was 1 of 2 for 19 yards at the end of the 4th quarter. Comes in today. He's seen 2 games this year. He's 3 of 6. 51 total yards on the seasons, no touchdowns and no interceptions for Simcoe. A lot on his shoulders today. When we look to the defensive side of the ball, Josh Padilla and Jaron Hooks, these are the DBs that got to step up big for Laverne today. They're going to get Alex Olivas back. We know that, but these guys have got to be big out on the corners for Laverne today.
And Hal, as we take a look at the players to watch on Claremont Mudscript side, who are they to watch?
Garrett Cheadle, this guy, their running back, he's a downhill runner. He'll give you 2 touchdowns on the season, and he's going to give you about 50 yards of game on the ground. And really, he's a guy that he can rely on in terms of Sam Healy, just handing it off and letting him do what he needs to do to get minimal yardage. But You're only as good as your next back. Spencer Sheff, another change of pace back for them. He's 44 yards per game on the season. He's got 5 TDs on the ground. He's their bruiser and a guy when goal line situations come, they're giving it off to Spencer Sheff. Chris Cheesla, their tight end. What can you say about this guy? 3 touchdowns on the season and nearly 18 to 19 yards a catch. This is a threat over the middle that CMS must take advantage of here today against the Leopards. Trey Smith, a wide receiver, a guy who needs to be a threat out on the corners against guys like Darren Hooks, Alex Olivas, Torrey Hilbert. Trey Smith might cause some problems today, but it's going to be at the expense of his quarterback being able to deliver the ball downfield for him tonight. Sam Healy, this is your game manager for the game if you're CMS. He's got 9 TDs and 8 interceptions on the season. Healy has got to take care of the ball today. He's got to be the guy in charge. And at 155 yards a game through the air, he's simply got to manage the game and let his defense come up big when need be. And you look at the defensive side of the ball, they're going to have to come up big. Laverne has a knack for that big playability, and Victor Bunce, Mackenzie Cooney are among those guys that need to have big games. More than 24 tackles apiece for these 2 guys, and Bunce has got 2 interceptions on the season.
And early on in this game, it's going to be who can establish the run. Spencer Sheff and Garrett Cheadle on CMS side, the dual-headed backs. And then on Laverne's side, you have Robert Fernandez and Mike Medina. Both teams relying on both of these guys to give them quality downs and decent yardage to open up that play action later on during the game. And Laverne lost the coin toss, and CMS elected to defer. So Laverne's going to be opening here, getting the kickoff, and they're going to be able to set the tone offensively.
And offensively, Laverne has got to find a way to deliver early. Last week, they went down, scored on the opening drive against Chapman. They forced a missed field goal on the opening drive for Chapman's offensive possession. It set the tone of the game. The flip script at halftime, if Laverne can start fast, maintain, and put together a complete game, look for them to look for a victory here on their home field here on homecoming weekend tonight.
It's about ready for kickoff time. It is 85 degrees, nothing but clear blue skies, and very sunny here at Ortmeyer Stadium. The kickoff is up. Returned by Laverne, caught around the 10-yard line. Runs up the middle and is going to be tackled. And it looks like CMS is signaling that the ball came out. They're saying they have the ball, and they do indeed.
We mentioned starting fast, starting quick, and maintaining. That is the exact opposite of what you need out of your team come special teams to put your team in a good position to make their way downfield. Now the defense out on the field.
And so CMS, their special teams able to force the hiccup and the turnover. And they're going to have great field positioning here for their opening drive. 14:53 here in the first quarter remaining. It'll be 1st and 10. Sam Healy in at quarterback. Ball's handed off to Cheadle.
Spencer Sheff, the ball carrier. Austin Brown making the tackle.
This CMS team, a pretty sound team. Just a week ago, 5 penalties, 32 yards. Laverne, not so much. They had 9 penalties, over 100 yards. They got to clean it up here tonight.
Another handoff is going to be a quarterback keep. He's going to run up the middle, get decent yardage right there. There was no gain on first down, picked up about half right there for a manageable 3rd down.
Quarterback sneak, it was more of the Wildcat formation there. So you had a change of pace back in the backfield there. It was number 24, Cheadle, on the carry. Just direct snap to him, ran it to the right end, fought upfield, now it's 3rd and short.
Garrett Cheadle taking the snaps in place of Sam Healy. 3rd and 4. Cheadle takes the snap and he's going to run it up the middle, and he's going to get caught as Laverne was able to close the gap.
Cheadle again.
Great play coming up there. It was number 4, the vocal leader and the captain on the defense, Connor Johnson, coming up through the B gap, standing right there, stopped Cheadle dead in his tracks. He tried to sidestep to the right, and it was the Laverne team that gang tackled him to the ground.
It'll bring up 4th and 1. It looks like the CMS offense is lobbying to stay on. The Laverne defense trying to get the crowd involved early. It'll be 4th and 1. Cheadle in at quarterback. Little fake handoff to Sheff, and Cheadle's going to take it up himself. He's got the first down and more. He's still on his feet. Dives towards the end zone. He'll be short of the end zone, but a big 4th down conversion for CMS early on.
Well, you're seeing exactly what CMS is trying to do here. They're trying to load up the line of scrimmage. They're going multiple tight ends. They're generally going offset to one side with multiple backs there to block. They're typically motioning across. Number 7 here, Spencer Sheff, their dual threat back. And what they're doing, it's a simple DN read. Cheadle's reading the DN. He's holding it off from Sheff, and he's running up the middle for significant yardage early.
There's Sheff in motion again. The snap to Cheadle. He's going to take it himself on the right side. Dives towards the end zone. And Laverne was able to hold him. And it'll bring 2nd and goal. Ball spotted at the Laverne 1-yard line.
And look for Laverne and Austin Brown in the middle of that defensive front to cause some problems today. Talked to Austin Brown midweek this week. He was excited about the opportunity to come out in a big game under the lights tonight. He needs a big fill here to get a stop on 2nd down.
And Austin Brown loves the pressure, loves the competition. And 2nd and goal here's got to come up with a big stop. Cheadle in at quarterback again, 2nd and goal. Sheff is in motion, but Cheadle's going to take it himself again, dives towards the end zone, and this time CMS has found the end zone for a touchdown.
Typically what you've seen with Cheadle on this first drive is he fakes the handoff and runs counter back the other way. This time he follows behind Sheff. There's an open gap there in the C gap. Cheadle turns his back and backpedals his way into the end zone for the touch.
That'll bring in Mitchell Allen, a junior out of Danville, California, in for the point after. And the kick is blocked by Laverne. Laverne still running on the outside. Still running down the sideline. He's at the 50 to 40. And it's going to be a good field positioning here for Laverne Leopards.
The block kick was returned by number 28, Corey Gilbert.
Austin Brown pulling up lame on that play, and that could be a cause for concern. He was in on field goal block, and here ailing off the field is Austin Brown, but you gotta love to see that, a guy that can show you some fight, and he works his way all the way back downfield for Laverne. There's gonna be no good field position, still gonna be a kickoff, but a heck of a hustle play by Brown among others.
And that blocked field goal could play costly later on in the game. They're Laverne's first matchup in Skyac. They won by just 1 point, and it was because of a point after that was missed wide to the right against Kowloon. And we'll see how that missed field goal by Mitchell Allen on CMS plays. Currently 6-0, 11:42 remaining in the first. Mitchell Allen on the kickoff, squibs it. It'll be scooped up at the 10. Running across the 20 towards the 30 on the right side. Got a big hole on the outside, and he's going to be tackled out of bounds, short of midfield, but a decent pickup here by the special teams.
And that's how you respond if you're Laverne. It's Caleb Johnson there on the return, and quite honestly, get yourself good field position, get the ball into your quarterback and your game manager, and let your offense do the work. No turnovers there on the return, and Laverne out near their 50 to start their drive.
Quarterback number 13, Matt Simcoe.
And Matt Simcoe in at quarterback, getting his first start of the season, in for the injured Josh Evans. Simcoe will fake the handoff to Medina. Look, and he's got his receiver. Wide open was Jelani Garnett running on the left side at the 20, at the 10, and just like that, Laverne is answered back.
Jelani Garnett, a huge post route across the middle. Simcoe on play action finds Garnett. He just legs out the secondary of CMS. A big threat target. We talked about it, more than 13 yards a catch. Jelani Garnett, a dash to the end zone for 55 yards on the strike.
And that's Jelani Garnett's first touchdown of the season. You got to figure that it was coming, and he finds it here. Big time for Laverne. And barring a point after, Laverne might take the lead here on just one play in their opening drive. And the kick is up and good, so Laverne takes the lead. It is now 7-6, 11-24 remaining here in the opening quarter. Eric Rembecki with the point after.
Jelani Garnett, so big across the middle there, strong hands, and he knew what to do once he caught with it. He got separation, he was off to the races. This is a guy back in the Cal Lou game a few weeks ago. He racked up 80 yards via reception, so this is a guy that is a formidable target for Matt Simcoe and this Laverne team, not just this year, but as they work into the rest of this guy's career.
And we talked about the running game being vital for both teams, but Matt Simcoe provides a different looking quarterback, very much more of a pocket presence, able to wait out Jelani Garnett in his post route, find him deep down the sideline. And let's not forget, Jelani Garnett able to break a few tackles and find that end zone.
Well, you talk about Matt Simcoe. This is a guy that is a pure pocket passer. So, Laverne, you're going to opt to see pass first today, most certainly. Do they need to get the run game going? Yes, but you look at Simcoe and what he brings in terms of the tangible. He's 6'3", 210. This guy's a house.
So Laverne will kick it. Eric Rembecki with the kickoff. Deep back to receive for CMS is Gordon Leonard. Scoops it up right at the 1 yard line, running towards the middle of the field, crosses the 20 at the 25 and scrambles and falls right around the 32 yard line.
Number 34, Jordan Leonard.
Good return for CMS here. You look at Jelani Garnett, he's off to the races. Separation from the secondary, and daylight's all he needs to scurry off to the end zone.
And for Jelani Garnett, that could be key. He could be a huge factor in this game. That's what he needs to get that first touchdown. We could see a huge game from him.
No Austin Brown here on this series of downs.
Mikey Bloomfield in for Austin Browns. We'll see how he does. Quarterback drops the pass, finds Cheadle in the open field. It'll be a short 3 yard pickup.
The different variation here, you see for the first time they bring in a true quarterback in Norville, and he's not even listed as their starter in Sam Healy, but he goes into a pro-style offense there, drops back, completes the pass to Cheadle. Mind you, Cheadle last week, only 7 carries on the ground. He's nearing that already here on just the second drive of the game.
And Norville, not the starting quarterback we expected, but does have a nice completion percentage rating, just under 70% in at quarterback. And it looks like CMS was able to get Laverne on the little fake.
Now you look at second and short, maybe 2 to go. After this, we'll move up 5 yards. And you look at that middle part of the Laverne defense. You look at Connor Johnson and Connor Truitt. These are guys you're going to see interchangeably change out at that middle linebacker position. Mind you, Connor Truitt a couple years ago was a safety for this Laverne team. Last year, tore his ACL, got another year to come back. He's excited to be in the middle part of that defense.
And that's going to be actually a false start on CMS, so that's going to move CMS back 5. And what was a manageable second down, getting them to a more manageable third, is going to be second and about 12. Ball spotted on their own 30-yard line.
For Laverne here, you don't go to prevent, but you make sure you cover the flats and eliminate that 10-yard pass.
Norville drops back, stays in the pocket, looks up the midfield, finds his receiver for a good pickup tackle just beyond the 50-yard line, right around the 49-yard line.
It was Torrey Hilbert that was playing about 11 yards off the ball, nothing close to press coverage, gave great cushion to the receiver, and coming across the middle, Hilbert a little late on the break, big pass across the middle, moved the chains.
Matthew Sill, the freshman receiver out of Arroyo Grande, California, making his first reception of the ball game. It'll bring up 1st and 10 for CMS, ball spotted at the 48. Norville drops back, looks left, is going to face pressure up the middle. And I believe that was Mikey Bloomfield who came in for Austin Browns, who had the initial hit. And it's going to be a huge sack for this Laverne defense.
Quite honestly, though, Bloomfield given the benefit of the doubt to that of Connor Truitt. Connor Truitt coming in off the edge. He was unblocked, and it was him and Connor Johnson really meeting at the quarterback at the same time and taking him to the ground. Good job by the front 7 of Laverne.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 17. Ball now on CMS's own 41-yard line. Moving from left to right towards the north side of the field. 7-6, Laverne leading with 9 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. 3 receivers are stacked up to the left side, 1 down low to the right. Norville escapes. He's going to scramble up the middle. He's got himself a big gain. And that'll set up good for a manageable 3rd down.
A good job trailing the play by Laverne there. Norville would have had a big gain right there, but now 3rd and short after a stout play. Laverne fighting back on D after a good scramble by Norville.
And Norville not really known for his scrambling ability, only averaging under 2 yards per scramble as QB, but able to pick up a hefty yardage right there, bring up 3rd and 3, ball spotted on the Laverne 45-yard line. Norville with Chef in the backfield. Norville looks right, throws right, finds his receiver down the sideline, and it looks like it's going to be good enough for a 1st down.
For Takayama, his 9th reception of the season, and none more important than right there. A big 1st down. They keep the drive going and keep the momentum in their favor. Laverne looking to get off the field. They had a good rush up front, but a good job by Norville to get that ball out quick.
And now you have Cheadle in the backfield again. Now taking the snaps at quarterback. 1st and 10. Cheadle with the fake to Chef. He's going to take it himself up the middle for minimal gain.
Ball carrier.
Connor Johnson, an undersized guy, but quite frankly, I think he's overlooked. This is a guy, the middle of the defense at 5'11", 205 is Johnson. But this is a guy that can create serious problems. You look at him on the defensive side of the ball, he's got 34 tackles on the season, and that's 6.8 a game. Connor Johnson, undersized, but he plays big.
Jake Norville in at QB again. 2nd and 8, throws left for the intended receiver. Unable to pick it up. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. Nick Wheeler, the senior receiver out of Eagle, unable to pick it up.
Sam Healy checking in, but you saw there with Norville, not on the same page as his receiver. It was number 12, his receiver that was downfield, and Nick Wheeler. And Wheeler kind of rounded off the top of that route. He didn't make it a sharp cut at that 5-yard out, so it was Norwood who let the ball out in front of his receiver and Wheeler. 3rd down coming.
And Sam Healy now steps in at quarterback, so a lot of switching things around here for Coach Sweeney and CMS. Healy with the handoff to Chef, but nothing was there. The Laverne front able to penetrate early.
Most everything CMS does is predicated around the play action. If you're Laverne, you've got to stay disciplined. You've got to keep your eyes up and maintain perception of where the ball's at. A great job there, and as we've seen already in the earlier part of the game, CMS going for it on 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th and 7. Sam Healy getting his 2nd snap at QB. Spencer Chef in the backfield alongside him. He's usually slanted to his left. They stack the interior, 2 lone receivers up top to the left side. And hold everything. It looks like it's going to be a timeout for CMS. It'll be their first charge timeout with 6:19 remaining here in the 1st quarter. But you got to give credit for CMS. A lot of switching here on who's at quarterback. Is it Cheadle? Is it Norville? Is it Healy? But despite the huge sack that set them back and the penalty that set them back, they've been able to maintain that tempo and still get big 1st downs.
Big 1st downs they have, but it's been an interesting play call here at the end of this drive. Norville was 3 of 4. The only one he didn't complete was a mistimed route by his slot receiver. You thought Norville had something good going there, but showing some confidence in both of his guys at quarterback, the head coach of CMS.
You're watching SkyAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. 6:19 remaining in the 1st. CMS coming out of the timeout, looking for to convert on their 2nd 4th down. This one's a little bit longer. Their first one was 4th and 1. Cheadle was able to pick it up on a decent yardage on the carry. Sam Healy in at quarterback. It'll be 4th and 7 from the Laverne 33-yard line. The snap is low to Healy. He's looking deep left. He's going to unleash it. And he finds his receiver for a 1st down.
Healy to number 21.
That'll move the chains. Another big fourth down conversion for CMS.
And that's still a tough play call on the defensive side of the ball for Laverne. Darren Hooks given a bit too much cushion there. And that was a simple curl route. And at the top of the route, receiver does a good job breaking it off. Darren Hooks not able to come out of his break quick enough to try and cause a pass break up there. CMS again on fourth down, moving the chains.
An 11-yard reception for Ethan Takayama, the freshman wide receiver from CMS. It'll be 1st and 10, ball spotted on the Laverne 22. Healy still in at quarterback, and this time we'll see if they get Laverne jumping.
Offsides, defense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
So they do get Laverne to jump off sides. It'll be 1st and 5 for CMS now. And you saw Sam Healy right there working the hard count, able to jump off the defensive line early. Sam Healy under. And the snap is low, it's fumbled, and Healy's just gonna lay on it.
Recovers his own fumble.
For Laverne, you know, 1st down, you give away 5 yards. The best thing that can happen to you, I guess, you would say you'll take it, is that of a fumbled snap. But good to see Austin Brown back out in the middle of the defense for Laverne. He pulled up lame on that punt, or the kickoff, rather PAT block. But Austin Brown back out on the field and hopefully wreaking havoc if you're a Laverne fan throughout the rest of the game.
Now as we see Garrett Cheadle now. Gonna take it out of the shotgun position. Chef in motion. Cheadle's gonna take it himself, looking left side, unable to do it as Laverne able to penetrate yet again.
Connor Truitt coming off the edge, and you talk about Cheadle and his read of the defensive end that time. It was Connor Truitt who kind of stood behind that defensive end of his. It kind of was a disguise out there. Cheadle kept it on the keeper, and it was Truitt who came off the edge and put a good stop.
Now Jake Norville will come out. Jake Norville, the freshman quarterback out of Orangevale, California.
Jake Norville at quarterback.
Spencer Chef in the backfield alongside him. And hold everything before the play was started. Whistle will blow it dead.
Remains 3rd down.
So once again, CMS shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties. Would have been 3rd and 4, now it's 3rd and 9. Ball spotted on the Laverne 21-yard line. Pushed them out of the red zone here. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. 7-6, Laverne leading. Norville drops back, looking right, throws right, and it's gonna be picked off by Laverne. That was Jose Aguero running on the left side, crosses midfield at the 40, and will be shoved out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Fortunately for Laverne, a block in the back by number 51, Giovanni Dolera. But this is going to be after the play. It should be at the spot of the foul. This is going to back it up to the 40. But nonetheless, a great return after the interception for Laverne.
For Laverne, that's good for them to capitalize here. They had that turnover on their opening kickoff. And Laverne's going to benefit with no block in the back. They're going to set up shop at the 30-yard line. But Jose Aguero able to come up with a huge interception. It'll even out the turnovers, 1 apiece. And now Laverne has decent field positioning here, looking to jump on their 1-point lead.
And quite honestly, this is a great time to establish the run. You start with good field position. You know they're going to set up across the middle and expect that big play from Matt Simcoe and those good receivers out on the flanks. Right now, if you're the running back in Fernandez, you've got to expect the ball and you've got to run downhill hard. And
alongside Simcoe is Martavius Holiday in the backfield. It's going to be a sweep around play, looking deep and falling just short of Jelani Garnett, the intended receiver. Down the middle of the field in the end zone, comes up short.
There was another listed quarterback that came in there. And you look, and it was Noah Whitney on the attempt for Laverne. So he came off the edge. It was a simple pick route off to the left of Simcoe, and he dished it back to Whitney, who was trying to throw it across the middle downfield. Laverne comes up short.
2nd and 10, ball spotted on the CMS 30. Simcoe in at quarterback. 1 attempt, 1 completion to the Jelani Garnett for a touchdown. Looks right, throws right, finds his receiver on the little slant up the middle for a big 10-yard pickup. It'll move the chains. 1st and 10 for Laverne.
Good to see Laverne incorporating some of these other receivers. Grayson Klein did not record a catch last game. Here on the 2nd drive of the game, a big catch across the middle for a first.
Grayson Klein, that sophomore wide receiver, they're expecting some big plays him this year and, of course, next year. So trying to get Simcoe and that Grayson Klein connection early on. 2 receivers bunched to the top. Jelani Garnett lone to the left. The pass is completed on the right side for a minimal pickup. It'll bring up 2nd and about 6.
If you're Laverne, you got to like what you see out of Simcoe. He sits in the pocket. He's poised. He's tall. He's big, and he's a gunslinger.
And that presence is just what you see about him. Shoulders relaxed, able to sit in there, trust the O-line that's going to give him there. Martavius Holiday in the backfield providing decent blocking on the ends. Martavius Holiday is going to get his own carry for the first time. It's tripped up in the backfield. That'll set him back a few.
Martavius Holiday, ball carrier. Robbie Weissenfeld.
Look for Laverne to go to a conservative play call here. They really like that stop receiver route right at the line of scrimmage, and they like a lead blocker from that slot receiver. Look for Jelani Garnett here.
3rd and 4, ball spotted on the CMS 14. Laverne in the red zone looking for more. They have a 7-6 lead. Simcoe drops back. Great block by Holiday. And Simcoe's going to scramble and do a little spin move. Unable to pick up the first down, but they are in field goal range for Eric Rembecki. We'll see what Coach Creek wants to do here.
You saw the alignment there. It was Jelani Garnett exactly as we drew it up. He does that stop route right on the line of scrimmage. He had his Russell Boucher with this lead blocker. Simcoe looks to the other side of the field. If not, it looked like Garnett had some open real estate here on the down end.
So we saw CMS go for it on 4th and 1 and 4th and 7. They converted twice. Now Laverne's going to try to go here on 4th and 1. Ball spotted on the CMS 11-yard line. Handoff to Martavius Holiday is not handed off, and Simcoe's going to take it himself, trying to push himself across the line of scrimmage. The ball comes out loose. Grayson Klein falls on it.
Mind you, Matt Simcoe load. He's 6'3", 210. And if he's considered a running back, so to speak, he's among the biggest in SCIAC on that design QB run there. Good job by CMS to stand up Laverne on 4th down.
So not much lost for Laverne other than perhaps 3 points on the foot of Eric Rembecki. Score remains 7-6, 1:10 remaining here in the first quarter. We're watching LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Billy Lopez alongside Hal Hargrave. Homecoming week here at Laverne, homecoming game. Great crowd here at Ortmeyer Stadium. And CMS will take over on downs. Ball spotted on their own 10-yard line. They're going to need to go a long 90 yards to put up a touchdown. Norville in at quarterback, hands it off to Sheff on the left side. Hole was blocked, so he goes end around and picks up a huge first down. He'll move the chains.
Sheff giving you a Thomas Rawls feel to his game. This guy not opting to run out of bounds as Torrey Hilbert's running up to make a fit. He says, I'm running right through you. He goes head down and bulldozes Hilbert over.
That's what you like to see from your running backs right there. Sheff being able to provide decent yardage on the ground early on.
To the 22.
Jake Norville in at quarterback. Sheff alongside him in the backfield. 1st and 10, ball spotted on the CMS 22. And Laverne signaling on CMS on the false start.
False start. Offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty. First down.
And once again, CMS is penalized. They'll bring up 1st and 15. Ball spotted on their own 17. 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And you can see Jake Norville visibly frustrated with his offensive line.
Offense, number 63, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Penalties will kill you. And now you look at 1st and 20, backed up into your own zone. This point, your head coach and OC of CMS, you got to go to a more conservative play calling for Laverne. You got to still play sound on D, be disciplined, but you could expect for Laverne to come away with the 3-and-out here.
And before they can set up shop on their 1st and 20 on their own 12-yard line, that'll run through the end of the first quarter. Laverne has the lead 7-6 early on. What did you see in the first quarter, Hal?
I saw Laverne come out, take some shots downfield, and go to aggressive-minded play calling. This is not a customary to the Laverne team that we know. This is a team that when you get into a shootout with another team, they do not have that firepower of an offense to battle from behind. It was early on here. They were aggressive with their play calling. When you thought they'd run, they'd throw across the middle, and they did that with a reliance on Matt Simcoe. 3 for 3, 74 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
And Jelani Garnett, that big strike early on the first play for Laverne, a 57-yard touchdown for Jelani Garnett, and Matt Simcoe able to find him there on the open slant in the midfield. How good is it to see Matt Simcoe, first drive, first completion to Jelani Garnett, and put up 7?
It's big. You look back to last week and what it meant to keeping Laverne in a game against a conference title contender in Chapman. And it really pays dividends in the rest of the game. When you can come out, establish momentum like that, it changes the way the game goes, but more importantly, it changes how the game feels.
Second quarter, about ready to get started as the crowd getting pumped up with Suavemente playing over the PA announcing. 1st and 20 for CMS. And it looks like Cheadle's going to be running on the outside tiptoes, unable to stay in bounds. And that's going to pick up the penalty yardage right there.
Jordan Leonard, the ball carrier.
Rather, Jordan Leonard, the freshman running back out of Anaheim, on the carry.
2nd and 14.
6 yards for Leonard. It'll be 2nd and 14. Ball spotted on the 18. CMS working from right to left here in the second quarter. Jake Norville in at quarterback. Drops back, fakes the handoff, finds pressure up the middle, is going to run all the way back and get sacked.
Good pursuit there by the Leopards, and they're able to bring down the quarterback in the backfield for Laverne. Nothing more important than coming out and establishing a good front 7 approach. They've done it here today, and it's really put some pressure on this young quarterback of Norville and CMS.
Please take a look. The pursuit, able to get Jake Norville. And that front 7 was something that Coach Creek talked about, having confidence in that front 7 to penetrate and fill up those gaps and stop the run game. And that's what we've been able to see early on here against CMS. So it'll be 3rd and 27. All spotted on CMS's own 5-yard line. Sam Healy in at quarterback. Chef in the backfield alongside him to his right. He fakes the handoff, throws right. And once again, it looks like CMS and their quarterback and receivers not on the same page.
And that's big for Laverne. You talk about the pressure this front 7's put on somebody like Norville. Norville showing good poise, yes. It's 3 for 5 with an interception. But for Laverne, the time of possession battle at 14 minutes to 2 minutes right now, Laverne's defense was in dire need to get off the field there. They need to start running the ball with their offense, controlling time of possession, and giving this defense a break. Torrey Hilbert back to receive.
Torrey Hilbert, one of the premier punt returners in SCIAC. Prides himself on being a big-time player. Will receive the punt right around the 45-yard line. Jabs left, will work his way up the middle, still on his feet. Picks up about 10.
Troy Hilbert with a return.
Should take a look at the heroes. 5 faculty heroes. Paul Alvarez, Professor Alvarez, Professor of Kinesiology, picking up the Hero Award this year. And for the student, Ozzy Jaime. As we mentioned this year, they're going away from the King and Queen and moving to the Hero. Voting has been going on all week long, and those are 2 heroes of Homecoming 2017. So 1st and 10, Sam Taylor in at quarterback, handoff to Michael Medina, and unable to find anything up the middle.
With Josh Evans out today, I'll be interested to see how Laverne approaches this quarterback situation. Simcoe's seen 2 drives. Now you see Taylor in for 1. That might be a balance you see throughout today. 2-to-1 series. You saw it much with how they would run their running backs in years past. See if they do it here today with quarterbacks.
Yeah, Martavius Holiday was paired alongside Simcoe in the backfield. This time Sam Taylor is paired with Mike Medina in the backfield. One of our players to watch. Kind of that second running back behind Robert Fernandez. Both of them seniors. Sam Taylor is going to take the snap, ditch it to the right to Medina, who once again is unable to pick up any yardage.
Sam Taylor, they're showing that he can run the RPO well, the run-pass option. There he opts to run to the run off the edge and able to not only give you a run with his own legs, goes to his second option in Medina and gives you a promising pitch out to the running back.
It'll bring up 3rd and 10. Laverne coming into this drive only had 3 yards rushing, and they've stood at that as they picked up 1 with Medina on the 1st down carry, but then lost 1 on the 2nd down pitch. 3rd and 10, ball spotted on CMS's 34. Sam Taylor in at quarterback, drops back looking left. He's gonna let it fly deep to his receiver. Jelani Garnett was intended for, but he'll sail out of bounds.
Gotta imagine with the aggressive play calling Laverne's had in the early part of this game, they're gonna go for it in CMS territory here.
They converted, actually they didn't convert earlier. Their 2nd time trying to convert here on 4th down. Their last one was 4th and 7. This one will be 4th and 10. All still spotted on the CMS 34-yard line. Laverne has a 7-6 lead, looking to keep this drive alive and add to that 1-point lead. Russell Boucher in motion. Sam Taylor drops back, stays in the pocket poised, looking deep in the end zone for his receiver and unable to find him. The pass sailed way deep in the end zone.
It was Nathaniel Sagstustami that was the intended target downfield for Laverne. Again, an aggressive play call. It looked like they had Boucher sitting at about 10 yards across the middle. Sam Taylor says, I'm gonna go for it. Throws a 30-yard bomb downfield. Laverne, nothing to show for it.
So CMS will take over on down. 2nd time they've been able to do that here in the 1st half. 12 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. Laverne still with a 1-point edge as they were able to block the point after CMS scored on the opening drive. Norville in at quarterback, hands it off to Sheff up the middle, picks up a decent 5.
Spencer Sheff, ball carrier.
They'll bring up 2nd down for CMS. Jake Norville staying in at quarterback alongside Spencer Sheff in the backfield. CMS trying to have a balanced offense. They have 79 total yards, 38 via the rush, 41 through the air. Norville with a delayed handoff to Sheff up the middle, and this time finds a burst of speed.
Sheff's a good-looking back. This is a guy that once he gets running downhill, he is a load to try and stop. He seems to always find the right hole. If you're CMS, you're feeling pretty good about this 3rd and short situation.
It'll be 3rd and 1 here for CMS, trying to keep their drive alive. As Garrett Cheadle now comes in at QB. Cheadle's going to take it, direct snapped to the right side, bursted through. Offensive line was able to provide a hole, and it's a big first down for the CMS offense.
You look at Chef at 5'11", 208. When they motion him across there in the backfield, Cheadle there just following behind Chef, and it really looks like a pro-style offense at that point. You got a running back with the lead fullback blocker in that of Chef. So your dual black threat giving you a bunch of different variations there.
And you're looking at Cheadle averaging just under 4 yards per carry. Spencer Chef, 4 yards per carry exactly. So they're not just picking up little 2-yard gains. They're getting about half of that first down that they need. And here they go to the air for the first time in a while, incomplete.
Mr. Claremont Swift, Michael Haas. Michael Williams goodbye to it.
Jonathan Keller, the intended receiver there. Good job by Torrey Hilbert to give pressure out of the break. And for Laverne to get minimal yardage, or rather no yardage given up on first down, allows their edge rushers to really go and try and attack the passer here on second down.
2nd and 10, ball spotted on the 46. Norville drops back. He's going to scramble to the left side, runs out of the pocket, still looking downfield. Now he's going to have to rush it himself, but Laverne able to get it. Mikey Bloomfield in on the tackle.
Norville. Mikey Bloomfield for the tackle.
If you take a look at the replay, there's Mikey Bloomfield right there, right on top of Norville.
It's tough for Norfield there. He comes down on that right shoulder. Immediately see Sam Healy check back in. Good pursuit by Laverne to trail after the running quarterback. Ultimately come up and make a fit minimal yardage there on second down. You're looking at 3rd and long.
Sam Healy, their #1 quarterback for CMS, 66 out of 122. Does have 8 interceptions on the season, though. That's the one blemish in his game. Healy looks downfield, looking to unleash it, and darn near almost throws his 9th interception.
His pass incomplete. Number 2, Jonathan Keller.
Good job by the middle of the field defense of the safeties of Laverne. It was a place that they got eaten up last week, but here,
Automatic, first down.
a big penalty for Laverne. This is where they struggled last week. It was 3rd down. It was the plays across the middle, and now it's the penalties that eat them up. You saw that last week, 9 penalties over 100 yards. Extends the drive for CMS, and CMS feels life.
So they get new life here, 1st and 10. Well, spotted on the Laverne 42. 9 minutes here to go in the first half. CMS looking to regain the lead. Sam Healy in at quarterback, hands it off to Spencer Chef on the right end. And picks up about 3.
Aaron Hooks. Taking the tackle.
CMS trying to do what they can to get Laverne out of base defense and utilize the motion of their backs in the backfield. It articulates how Laverne will shift their linebackers. They're trying to get those mismatches that they've been looking for out in the flats, and if anything else, they want those linebackers to vacate the flats areas where they can run off the edge.
So here's Sam Healy on 2nd and 6. Or rather, Cheadle on the carry. Tries to run up the middle, but the Leopards stack the inside for no gain.
Again, Laverne, 3rd and long. How are they going to fare? CMS has had an answer by virtue of the big play or the big penalty on Laverne's behalf. Earlier, you're seeing Norville check back in the game, looking like he might pass somewhere downfield.
So Jake Norville comes back in. Coming into the game, had 1 interception, doubled his total here. An interception by Jose Aguero. Big 3rd down on both sides. CMS trying to keep this drive alive and put up some points. Laverne trying to stop them. Norville takes the snap, runs outside to his right side, looking down the field, throw. Pass is thrown. A great coverage right there.
Good job by Chef, however, to give the extra time to Norville. You'll see Chef here come up and make a big fit on somebody we're accustomed to seeing on the offensive side of the ball for Laverne. It was Robert Fernandez out playing outside linebacker there on that play. He was pursuing Norville. The extra block by Chef gave Norville a chance. He doesn't complete it downfield.
In 4th and 6, and CMS is not going to elect to go for it. They're going to punt it back. Martavius Holiday deep back to receive. The punt's gonna sail, take a bounce, and will go out of bounds. Actually, Torrey Hilbert deep back to receive the punt.
1st and 10 for Verne at their own 3-yard line.
It's a beautiful punt by CMS. It's going to pin Laverne in their own 5. They'll set up shop at the 3-yard line. 1st and 10. A long 97 to go here. But with the long drive, they have the potential to chew up some clock, which is something they have been unable to do early on here. Sam Taylor getting a second drive. Martavius Holiday in the backfield alongside him. 1st and 10 for Laverne. Sophomore quarterback Taylor. There's the handoff to Martavius Holiday, and he's wrapped up in the end zone for a safety.
That's tough logic to understand there by Laverne. This is a team that's been aggressive, throwing the ball downfield all game. They've gotten the ball out quick, and here they finally opt to the run to try to get ground game going. They're backed up almost to their own 2. They choose to run, they get stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. Where's the aggressive play calling there?
And that's going to give life to CMS. They're going to now take the lead 8-7. And you can see the sideline getting into it. The coaches telling the players, this is our time, this is our time. And we'll see if that type of big-time play, as we'll take a look at the replay. And there's just no chance. Martavius Holiday, as soon as he got the handoff from Sam Taylor, was wrapped up. We'll see if that type of play can turn CMS' offensive attack around and threaten Laverne late in the first half. .7:21 remaining here in the first half. CMS regains the lead, scores 8-7.
They'll be punting off for Laverne.
Russell Boucher in to punt it.
Will Buckstaff deep for the Stacks.
CMS gonna let it bounce. Picks up around the 20-yard line, scrambles to his left, across the 30. Gonna get pushed out of bounds, just shy of the 40.
A tough job keeping contained right there by Darren Hooks, who is one of the gunmen there, and he's supposed to keep contained. He takes his eyes just off the ball carrier for a split second, and you see the ball carrier bump it out wide for another 10 yards.
Low-scoring game thus far here. 7:15 remaining in the first half. 8-7, CMS leads. CMS picking up big 2 points on a safety. Now take over after the punt by Russell Boucher. Jake Norville in at quarterback. Alongside Garrett Cheadle. Delayed handoff to Cheadle up the middle. And another good first down carry.
Good first down carry, but again, Connor Johnson, this guy's got a knack for the ball. Always find him around. A tackle being made there. He gets the good fit right at the line of scrimmage. Good job by Connor Johnson on that read.
Connor Johnson making the tackle for Laverne.
Sun dipping below the trees, providing some shade on the field now. It's a warm day here in Laverne. 85 degrees at kickoff. Nice breeze coming in towards the north side. Norville's going to take it on the quarterback keep.
Cheadle, the ball carrier.
That'll bring up another third down for the CMS offense. CMS 2 for 6 on third downs, but a perfect 2 for 2 on fourth down.
Love to see this defensive line of Laverne step up big here. Gonna imagine they're gonna opt to run with that of Cheadle or Chef. Chef might be your guy here in motion. If you're Austin Brown, what can you do to cheat a gap and get up into the backfield?
3rd and 3, ball spotted on CMS's own 48-yard line. There it is, then there's Spencer Chef's gonna leap over the entire line.
Spencer Chef, the ball carrier.
But it's gonna be to Noah Val. It'll bring up 4th down.
Right at midfield, you really can't take the gamble of field position to try to go for it on 4th. It was a good stand right there by the Laverne defensive line. Austin Brown in the middle disrupting play. So for Laverne, you try to stay disciplined here. You look for any fakes and you let Torrey Hilbert back deep do what he can to get you back to midfield.
Alex Olivas leaves back behind. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Punts a high one, not very far. It's gonna bounce right at the 25-yard line. It's scooped up at the 26. Just about what you would expect on a kickoff. Laverne's gonna set up shop at the 26-yard line.
Such a great punt prior to that to down Laverne inside there too. That one came off the foot wrong. CMS knows it, we know it, and Laverne's benefiting from it.
5:02 remaining, 8-7 CMS leading Laverne here. It's the homecoming game. Great crowd at hand at Ortmeyer. Just about every seat field. Some cooking going on. In the parking lots, tailgate music provided by Leo FM, DJ Santana, and Laverne offense trying to get groovy. Matthew Simcoe in at quarterback. Throws to his right, pass is complete for a first down pickup.
Outstretched there was Jamie Valet. And this is just a plethora of receivers that Laverne has racked up with actual receptions on the stat sheet this year. You really can go to any which way you want. You have a guy that's promising.
And for the first time with Simcoe, Michael Medina in the backfield alongside him. We'll bring up 2nd and 7. Ball spotted on the Laverne 30. Medina's going to take the handoff, run right up the middle, and finds first down and more. Across midfield and tackled at the CMS 45.
That is a great cut by Michael Medina. He tries to run to his right there. The A gap is filled up. He cuts back to the left, scampers off for a 25-yard gain, and that is the exact strike Laverne needed to open up the field.
Trying to quickly get things off here, no huddle. Pass intended for Dejon Logan, one of our receivers to watch. Unable to pick it up. Bring up 2nd and 10. But for Mike Medina, that's exactly what you wanted. Robert Fernandez been premier back. Mike Medina struggling early on. Here's a handoff up the middle, another decent gain.
Another back in for Laverne here on this carry. It's James Gonzalez.
Caleb Johnson listed as a tight end. Just shows the versatility of this Laverne offense. Simcoe in the backfield. There's another handoff. Faked, and here's thrown to Dejon Logan. Stiff arms for a few yards. Laverne sideline signaling for the first down, and they got it.
That's that bubble screen route that Laverne loves to go to when they are in dire need. They feel confident in their blocking downfield by their receivers. They go to the hot receiver, he picks up yardage.
And quick no huddle, handoff to Medina up the middle, finds no gain. If he's lucky, picks up a pair. Down that bubble screen on the left side, usually Russell Boucher is the intended target. This time they go with Dejon Logan. There's another handoff to Medina. Runs to the left side,
Again, the ball carrier.
But minimal on the ground for Medina.
Mitchell Allen making the tackle.
Simcoe here, 3rd and long. Look for Simcoe to utilize this solo receiver down here on the right side of the field in Brandon Long.
Medina in the backfield alongside Matt Simcoe. Hand off to Medina. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. He's finally tackled in the backfield. And you're seeing this
Making the tackle.
kind of conservative play calling, almost like Laverne has a decent lead here. But 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. They trail by 1. And run it on 3rd and 7. It'll bring up 4th and 7. Simcoe still on the field. A lot of somewhat questionable play calling early on.
Laverne looking like they're going to call timeout here. They got 6 seconds left on the play clock.
So Simcoe trying to settle them down, 1 second remaining. And Laverne was able to call a timeout.
First charge.
So they used their first timeout of the half. Both teams have 2 remaining, 1:52 in the first half. Claremont has an 8-7 lead. LVTV would like to thank Warehouse Pizza in Old Town Laverne for providing the crew food for today's game. Thank you, Kenny. Able to eat some of that pizza before the game getting going, trying to get us in the mood here for a great homecoming game. Hasn't disappointed. It's a thriller here, 8-7 defensive matchup between CMS and Laverne.
You know, Warehouse Pizza, they're overlooked. This place has the best ranch south of the border of Canada. I'm telling you this much. It is a must go to and a must try. Warehouse Pizza in the city of Laverne.
For the field goal.
So Eric Rembecki comes in. Looking for close to about a 45-yard field goal. The kick is up, got plenty of leg to it, but it's going to be pushed to the left. So Coach Creek goes to Eric Rembecki to give him the lead. Comes up short on the field goal attempt, and CMS will take over.
Quite frankly, Eric Rembecki having much more on that leg than I think anybody thought. That was a good boot. It was pushed wide right. And you see the trust that Coach Creek has in a kicker like that. 45-yard plus field goal. Division III level, you don't see that.
Just that 46 yards, and yeah, the Redlands kicker setting a Redland high early on this year with a 56-yard field goal. And other than him and Eric Rembecki, they got the boots to put in some long-distance field goals. Coming up short here, though, for Laverne. CMS will take over on downs. Just under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. Jake Norville in at quarterback's going to scramble up the middle, but before he does that, Mikey Bloomfield once again finding him.
Good job by Bloomfield on the pursuit and to bring down Norville to the ground. Norville almost lost the ball as he came down.
Loss of 4 on the play.
So on the sack, it'll bring up 2nd and 14. 1:22 remaining here. CMS got 2 timeouts to work with, but they're letting the clock tick away. They have an 8-7 lead. All spotted on their own 22. Norville in the backfield alongside Garrett Cheadle. There's a handoff to Cheadle, and he's going to be met again by that Laverne front.
Good pursuit again by Connor Johnson and Connor Truitt. The two-headed Connors coming at you strong there, making a good fit. And for Laverne, they call the timeout, try to reserve what they can on the clock. Still have 2 timeouts left if you're Laverne. That's the aggressive play calling that you missed for much of the second quarter. They're playing to get back the ball again and put up more points before time runs out.
And CMS looked like they were just going to be content with running out the first half with a 1-point lead. They have 2 timeouts remaining on their end, but they're not electing to use them. So Laverne says, you know what, we're going to try to do it here. They stopped the clock on 3rd and 16. They could stop it one more time and then have Just under a minute to have more as we take a look at the beautiful homecoming crowd that has showed up here at Ortmeyer Stadium. Last year's homecoming game was a good old-fashioned shootout, 57-56 win. 1-point win, and we're looking at a 1-point game here. So back-to-back years that the crowd has been able to see some exciting football here at Ortmeyer. Jake Norville in at quarterback on 3rd and long. 58 seconds remaining here in the first half. 8-7 CMS. Norville drops back, scrambles out to the right side, keeps his eyes down the field, throws well out of bounds.
Outside the tackle box is Norville, and he pushes it down past the line of scrimmage. Laverne stout on 3rd down. Torrey Hilbert back to receive. If you're Hilbert, you've got to get a good return, and you're hoping if you're Laverne, he's getting you somewhere inside the 35-yard line of CMS.
Yeah, and if CMS wanted to run out that clock, they should have went with a run play. Only 7 seconds go off the clock, 51 seconds, and they save Laverne a timeout. So we'll see if Laverne can take advantage of the play call. Torrey Hilbert just beyond midfield. Running to his right, is going to let it bounce and won't let it pick up. It's going to take a favorable bounce for CMS. The play is going to be blown dead. Ball spotted will be at the 27-yard line. Laverne's got 47 seconds and a timeout to try to get in decent field goal position. We saw the leg of Eric Rembecki. He might only need 40 yards here or so.
This is going to get talked over there. The clock did not start running. It only ended up running off 4 seconds on that play. CMS has a certain argument. This should be down around 41, 42 seconds.
You see the officials huddled up. Now go down. We'll see if any time is taken away.
Game clock operator. Please put 44 seconds on the clock. 44.
For CMS, only 3 seconds added to that. So now Laverne with a timeout and 44 seconds, 1st and 10.
44 seconds on the game clock.
All spotted on their own 34-yard line. As we hold for game clock operator to change it. They changed it to 34, now they get it to 44. Matt Simcoe in at quarterback. Martavius Holiday in the backfield. Simcoe stays in the pocket looking for Russell Boucher deep down the right side sideline. Unable to connect.
That's a tough play downfield when you talk about that corner route and how much you want to break that off and keep that flat or keep it more at an angle. Boucher there and Simcoe not on the same page as Simcoe outthrows Boucher. And for Laverne, you might just look for maybe a screen pass to get you a good chunk of yardage to at least attempt a Hail Mary at the end of this.
2nd and 10, Simcoe drops back, looking left, keeps his eyes down the field as he escapes the pocket. Trying to find Jelani Garnett. Pass is incomplete, and he'll bring up 3rd and 10. 34 seconds remaining here in the first half. 8-7 CMS. We're watching LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Laverne trying to keep their drive alive, have a timeout, but they need 10 yards here. A lot of delay here in the game. Crowd getting a little antsy. And here's Martavius Holiday going to pick it up the middle. Stays on his feet, keeps those legs moving. Will be just short of a 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down.
Martavius Holiday, the ball carrier.
For Laverne, you've been aggressive play calling for the better half of the first half.
3rd
And now 4th down and 4. Do you just simply say, okay, we're going to punt it away? Or do you try to go out to the flats, pick up a 1st down, and then go to Hail Mary at the end of the half?
Timeout, Claremont.
Well, Claremont's going to call a timeout. We'll see what play call Laverne comes out with. Special teams having a good factor for CMS early on. They forced a fumble in the opening kickoff, set them up in great field positioning that netted them their lone touchdown of the game. We'll see. Russell Boucher coming in on. So Laverne electing to punt. Deep back to receive is Victor Bunce, the senior defensive back of El Dorado Hills. 23 seconds remaining, 8-7 CMS. Boucher gets hit as he punts, and he was hit hard. He's wincing on the ground. Rolls on his back, and as soon as that ball came out, CMS was right there on top of him.
And it was the senior, Nick Gott, who came in and put it on Boucher. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty. That won't be running in. That'll be roughing.
Defense, number 35. 15-yard penalty.
Automatic, 1st down.
Now, for the benefit of Laverne, you have a shot at a Hail Mary here with Matt Simcoe. Boucher still on the ground, ailing.
You get the benefit, but if they lose Russell Boucher, that could be a big loss. Premier punter for them, and not only that, but one of those guys on those bubble screens on left and right side, picks up decent yardage, has a few touchdowns on the season as a wide receiver. An important player for Laverne.
Really tough to blame Nick Gott there. He got a tip of that ball, so when you're that close to blocking it, you really got to go full blower and lay out. He did that, unfortunately for him. You're supposed to flatten that off at the top and not go directly at the kicker.
And Russell Boucher is going to be carried off, unable to put any weight on that leg. Laverne will take over. Ball now on the 45. 12 seconds remaining. You can elect to look downfield, or you can pick up 10 yards here and give Eric Rembecki a chance, as Laverne does still have one timeout.
I think for Laverne, you look to go to short yardage here. This isn't a Hail Mary situation yet. You got yourself one timeout, maybe a pass across the middle here.
Here's Simcoe with pressure up the middle. Is going to stay on his feet. Throws it out of bounds. 5 seconds go off the clock. 7 seconds remain.
Still another chance to try and pick you up another 10 to 15 yards, I think, with 7 seconds. You got to be really keen on calling the timeout the second a receiver goes to the ground. If you're a receiver and you get this reception, you go to the ground immediately. You don't run out the clock here, that's for sure.
Yeah, Michael Medina picked up that block. Otherwise, Simcoe is going to be a sitting duck in the backfield. So 2nd and 10, ball spotted on CMS's 44. Laverne trying to strike. And Laverne's going to get a false start. CMS was signaling for a long time. They finally get the whistle.
Offense, number 80, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Now 2nd and long. Ball spot on the 49. Simcoe drops back, escapes the pocket to his right. It's going to look downfield, and the pass is going to be incomplete, intended for Grayson Klein, right around the 20-yard line. The time will run out.
But if this is a defensive penalty, you'll run another play on your 0-0.
Legal block, blue wing. Number 5, penalties decline, halftime.
By virtue of it being an offensive penalty, you can simply now run out the clock. If it's defensive penalty there at 0-0, you run another play. So Laverne gonna trot off the field. Mind you, CMS receiving comes second half after that blunder on the first kickoff fumble for Laverne. Laverne's gotta clean it up come second half.
As we take a look at the scoring summary of the first half, It was Garrett Cheadle, a 2-yard rush to get CMS on the board early, and I mean early. After the opening kickoff, the kickoff was fumbled, and CMS had great field positioning. They were in the red zone, and Garrett Cheadle in that Wildcat setup able to score, but Mitchell Allen was unable to convert on the point after as it was blocked by Laverne, so it was a 6-0 game. And then the Laverne offense got their chance to go out there. Matt Simcoe in for the injured Josh Evans on his first play finds Jelani Garnett, a 57-yard touchdown pass. Eric Rembecki with the point after made it a 7-6 game. And then Laverne, when they were set up, when CMS was able to pin them in their 5, they were setting up from their other end zone, and Martavius Holiday was wrapped up in there, and that's how CMS got their other 2 to give them the lead 8-7. Other than that, that's all the scoring. What did you see, Hal?
Some bright spots for Laverne, certainly. You look at the immediate connection between that of Simcoe and Jelani Garnett, and it shows promise. What you need to do for your Laverne, too, you got to get back to what you do best, and that is spreading out the field, using your assets, and 5 passes here in the first half for completions, 9 total. Laverne has got to control time of possession heading into second half. How do you do that? You do that by getting back to the run as well. Medina had a good 20-yard rush, and for Medina, you've got to understand the load's going to be put on you tonight. Unfortunately for Holiday, he gets wrapped up in the end zone, but if Laverne can find ways to spread the field and give Simcoe some time to sit back in the pocket, you're going to see more big plays downfield come second half.
And their rushing totals early on, only 31 yards on the ground, 89 in the air. Their strength for this team is their rushing. Only Michael Medina has garnered more than 10 yards. Holiday unable to pick up any positive yardage, has -4 on the game. And as you were saying, open up that field early on for some play action pass. Matthew Simcoe, 5 of 6, and all 5 completions to 5 different receivers in Jelani Garnett, Dejon Logan, Grayson Klein, Mason Thomas, and Jaime Valley.
Not bad for a guy that is getting his first collegiate start under center. Matt Simcoe, a local product coming out of Chino's Hills High School. But for Simcoe in this offense, you need to do what you can to manage the game. Got to be a game manager, and for the Laverne defense, you got to give them a chance to stay off the field. Laverne was not winning that time of possession battle there in the first half. 20 minutes to 7 minutes was the balance there. In that first half, you saw CMS run with Cheadle and Sheff and really wear down that front 7 of Laverne. Laverne shot themselves in the foot a couple of times by not getting off on third down, giving up easy penalties, but you've got to be happy if you're the Laverne D as a whole. They gave up only 103 total yards, and this is an offense that produces more than 400 yards in offense a game. If you're Chris Creek, you go to Coach Rodriguez, your DC, say keep doing what you're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But guys, we gotta be a little more disciplined. No jumping, no unnecessary penalties. If you can do that, you're gonna be in this late in this game.
And for CMS, Garrett Cheadle, when he does set up, you know it's gonna be a run. Other than Cheadle has not thrown a pass yet. It's been Norville and Sam Healy. The majority of the snaps have been given to Jake Norville, 3 of 7. And as the Laverne softball team is on the field, we'll send it to the PA announcer.
Softball team.
You look back to the Laverne softball team last year. This team went 24-5. They come away as conference champions. They go off, go to regional play, and this was highlighted by a couple of smashers there for Laverne, and among them, Alexis Schiff. She is an all-conference player, an all-region player, a near All-American. She's gonna be missed this season, but for Julie Smith, a bright spot for the Laverne softball team. This was the team a couple of years ago. They found themselves making it to regional play after winning a tournament title. Last year, they win an outright title, and this is a team that's going to be talked about for years to come.
And as we take a look back at the Claremont Mud Script stats, Norville 3 for 7, only 30 yards, and Sam Healy 1 for 2 with 11 yards. There's been a lot of rushing on the ground, 62 yards, only 41 through the air. CMS trying to keep that balanced offense and only able to pick up 103 yards.
Again, we highlight the defense of Laverne. They had 2 sacks, 6 tackles for a loss. They've been finding a way to get north and south. They've been doing it with the good linebacker play with that of Connor Johnson and Connor Truitt. They've been coming up, making good fits. And when Austin Brown to the middle, clogging up holes, it's been pushing Cheadle and Chef out to the outside, giving those outside linebackers a chance to come up and make a fit. We're going to step aside right here as we highlight the Laverne cheerleading team out at midfield.
Laverne Cheer Squad. Thank you, ladies.
That was the Laverne Cheer Squad providing
Next, Laverne Dance
some
Team.
halftime entertainment for the crowd here at Ortmeyer. Now we step aside again for the Laverne Dance Team.
Laverne Dance Team.
Laverne Dance Team and Cheer Team
The
moving
halftime
forward in the
entertainment is
second
brought to you by
half.
Crunch Fitness,
Take a look,
Laverne.
Claremont Mud Scripps, 20 minutes of possession, 7 minutes only for Laverne. We got to see who's going to be able to take advantage of that. How both teams figure that they have a shot at winning this game. What's going to be the difference?
The difference is going to be Laverne coming out and getting a quick 3 and out, or at least a good stop on the first drive. You look back to last week, a 10-9 halftime score. And it was the beginning of the second half where Laverne released the reins on Chapman. They were off to the races. Tonight, it needs to be a different story if Laverne wants to win under their home lights.
Halftime score, CMS 8, Laverne 7.
The numbers are
You're watching LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
04 386 804. Congratulations. Please come up to the announcer's box.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
Second half of SCIAC football is around the corner. Billy Lopez alongside Hal Hargrave. Claremont Mudscripts leads Laverne 8-7 at the half. Laverne celebrating homecoming this week and is looking to make it 3 straight homecoming game wins. You look back to their previous 2 games this season, it has been the third quarter that has hurt them. 21 points allowed against Redlands, and last week 21 points allowed against Chapman in the third quarter. How important is that first defensive stance for Laverne?
It's huge, and quite honestly for Laverne, I hate to put it as do or die, but this is something that you need to get the ball rolling in the right direction if you're Laverne. You come out to start the first quarter, you fumble on the opening kickoff. Here in the second half, those mistakes have got to be minimized. If you're CMS, the one person you've got to involve more into the game plan is Trey Smith. He was one of our players to watch. He has yet to record a catch in tonight's game. He is their deep threat. He's everything to them. He's 305 yards of total reception yards on the season, and he's got 4 TD catches on the season. If CMS is going to mount a big victory on the road here tonight, Trey Smith has got to get involved in the second half.
And that also involves making more passing calls as the CMS offensive coordinator. Only 10 attempts, 4 completions for a total of 41 yards. Laverne able to put up 89 yards in their passing game early on.
For Laverne, you look at how it fared in terms of play calling to play calling. There was 36 total plays for CMS in the first half, and for Laverne, 25 total plays. You look at time of possession, though. Laverne, when they did throw and they did have incompletion, stopping the clock. Time of possession, 20 minutes for CMS, 7 for Laverne. CMS came out, established the run in the first half. Laverne needs to do much of the same in the second.
And turnovers could be huge in the second half. 1 turnover apiece in the first half, but the difference, CMS put up a touchdown on the turnover. Laverne unable to capitalize on their interception.
You look back to Laverne, when they did get that interception return, they went for it on 4th down and got stuffed. So Laverne needs to play more college football here in the second half.
The kickoff is in the middle. It'll be scooped up deep in the 5-yard line. Running back is Leonard. He's going to sprint right through the gap, burst through midfield, and is tackled in the opposing territory at the 45. Another huge special teams conversion here for CMS.
That's a good-looking return for Jordan Leonard, a guy that averages 23 yards per return. Longest return of the season, 55 yards. That one, 54.
It'll set up 1st and 10. Great field positioning for CMS. Ball spotted on the Laverne 46. CMS scored on their opening drive to start the first half, trying to do the same here in the second. There's a handoff. Spencer Sheff on the left side. Picks up a decent 5. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Good fit by Connor Truitt with some help from Torrey Hilbert. Good job by Tilbert to get off the block, and Hilbert comes up from the corner position to assist Truitt on the play.
We see Jake Norville in at quarterback. On the season, just under 70% completing rating. Struggling today, 3 for 8 in the first half. 2nd and 6. Another handoff to Spencer Sheriff.
He's got a real knack for jumping over the pile. It's not the first time we've seen that tonight.
2 yards on the play.
Sheff with the leap. Only picks up to 3rd and 4. Talking about that defensive stance, Laverne has a big chance here.
3rd and 4.
Sideline trying to get the crowd involved. Norville with the handoff to Chef on the left side. He's got the first down and more, tackled at the 30.
The guy is not afraid to put his head down and just go. Connor Johnson in on the fit, coming off the edge. It was Chef. And what you saw in the first half, they relied predominantly on Cheadle. Now going to Chef in the second half. They've got 9 carries apiece now for both these guys. That is much more than their total from last week's game. So really controlling time of possession against CMS here in the second half.
And for Chef, not really of a cutback type running back, more of just north and south movement, whether he's going to be leaping over the pile or not, as his pass is sailed just out of the reach of Nick Wheeler, the senior wide receiver.
Incomplete.
Was Wheeler, who was the second option really, but if you're in Norville, you look out to Trey Smith. Trey Smith was wide open in the flats for much of the duration of that play. The play took a while to develop, but Trey Smith has got to be the guy that you're looking for downfield.
Trey Smith yet to be targeted this game. Another handoff to Chef, and this time Laverne able to stop it for a small gain.
3rd and 7 for Laverne. And we've seen Laverne cheat at many points by stacking the box. Here, a time you'd expect Norville to roll out on a bootleg and throw downfield, but we've seen crazier things. They got Cheadle now back in the game. Chef is out, possibly Cheadle out in the flats is what you could see.
Cheadle 292 yards total coming into this game. Does have 29 yards in this one. Jake Norville in at quarterback. 3rd and 8. There's a flag on the play. As Norville's pass is
You can
well
see
short.
that with the naked eye here. I apologize to cut you off. Connor Truitt lined up in the neutral zone.
Penalty marker on the play.
Offsides. Defense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
That's going to give CMS second life here.
Not to mention, this is a 42-yard field goal now if they kick it from here where they were at. They got no yardage. It was a 47-yarder. You think about punting or going for it on 4th down. If you're Laverne, you just gave them 2 downs.
So 3rd and 3. Ball spotted on the 26. Cheadle sets up. Chef in motion. Cheadle's going to take it on the direct snap to the right side, and Laverne's able to stuff it.
Good gang tackle by Laverne off the right edge. Cheadle trying to fight forward. Doesn't pick up any yardage. 4th down. They're going to go for the field goal here.
So Mitchell Allen.
It's long on the season's 46. 47-yarder here for Allen. Rather 42-yarder as long as the season is 46.
Crowd getting into it here at Ortmeyer. 8-7 CMS looking for 3 more. The kick is up and it's good.
You talk about the importance of that kick. One would assume you're going to see more points in this game, but if you don't, at least if you're CMS, you just made this a 2-possession game by virtue of 4 points. Certainly not by virtue of a touchdown, but late in the game, if Laverne has the option to go down and this score stands up, a field goal will not be for an option for Laverne.
And I tell you what, Coach Creek's decision earlier to have Eric Rambecki try from 46 showed off the leg, and Coach Sweeney on CMS's side is going to say, you know what, that leg could beat us later on in the game. Let's put up 3 right here to make them beat us with the touchdown.
Most certainly, you got to think that played a factor in it. You saw Rambecki out here at halftime nailing from 45 yet again. The kid has got the boot to put Laverne in a good way late in the game, but when you're battling back from 4, it really doesn't matter at that point. Good job by Allen with the battery there. Good hold. Good kick, it's up and good. And Allen, not your prototypical kicker, I might add. 6'1", 260, this guy's a house.
Deep back to receive for Laverne is number 16, Dejon Logan, and number 23, James Gonzalez. Gonzalez will scoop it up right at the 5-yard line. He's gonna run to the right, now squirts over to the left side. He's got great blocking downfield, crosses the 35 and across the 40 as he's finally tackled.
Good return by Gonzalez there. It'll be interesting to see if they run Matt Simcoe out in the first half, or if they opt, rather the first drive of the second half, or if they opt to go Sam Taylor, it was Simcoe who ended the first half for Laverne.
On a 35-yard return.
And it's going to be the sophomore quarterback, Sam Taylor, alongside the senior running back, Michael Medina, here in the first drive here in the second half for Laverne. Two receivers up top to the left, one down low to the right. Taylor with a quick handoff to Michael Medina, who bursts across up the middle.
Medina was a guy away from getting to the second level in what looked like it was going to be a good gain on the play. A good job by the linebacker to go to a shoestring tackle there for minimal yardage.
But if Medina keeps picking up 5 yards, it could play into the passing game later on for Taylor. As it's a fake to Medina, now they throw it to the left side. And that'll set up Taylor with the complete to Mason Thomas.
Wide
and the
receiver
chains are
screen.
moving.
Good looking play there for Laverne. It was a stop route for Thomas there at the line of scrimmage, and then he runs under his 2 lead blockers. Good job for him to find daylight, get north and south, and pick up the first.
Another wide receiver screen on the left side for a nice pickup. But that's what that run does by Medina. If you have that fake handoff to Medina, the Claremont Mud Scripts front has to commit to it, knowing that Medina is picking up decent yardage, and then you have the screens on the outside that are opening up.
Showing good promise here, the Laverne offense, even without Fernandez and Josh Evans today.
2nd and 5, another wide receiver screen to the left side. This one's well short as the pass fell. So now Laverne will be faced with their first 3rd down. They converted only 1 of 5 in the first half. They trail 11-7, need to convert here. 3rd and 4, ball spotted on the CMS 42. Taylor with the handoff to Medina, who runs on the left side, but nothing much. He'll be short of the first.
Robbie Weisenfeld's coming up in a good tackle. He gets through the Laverne offensive line, and he's able to find the backer in Medina. Good job by him to come up and make a nice fit.
Taylor in the offense will stay on. 4th and 3rd on the CMS 41. Laverne went for it on 4th one time in the first half, and were unable to convert. Trying to change their fortunes here on 4th and 3. 9:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 11-7 CMS.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And Sam Taylor was looking towards the sideline, either looking for a play or not. They maybe were trying to draw CMS offsides, but with not even a hard count, he's just looking over there. That's not going to be good enough to draw a penalty.
And good to see for Laverne that Boucher is okay and back up on the field. He's in to punt.
Just under 9 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Russell Boucher with the fake punt. He's going to try on the left side. There's nothing there. He's going to run back, still looking down the field. Sweeps to his left side, still on the, and now he's going to get the punt off. Kind of a wild play. And Laverne is hyped about that one.
What a play by Boucher. Are you kidding me? A guy that takes off on the run. It looked like it was a fake punt by Laverne, showing you he's still got some life left in those nicked up legs after the big punt attempted block in the first half. He somehow gets off the punt and then downs it inside the 5 yards.
Yeah, he was unable to put any pressure on that right leg. Got carried off the field last time on the punt. Legs working fine there. And still gets a punt off. And not only that, but a decent one at that.
Too bad. You push them back inside their own 5-yard line. Boucher quite literally may have just had the play of the game for Laverne.
So CMS now 1st and 10 on their own 3-yard line. They need to go a long 97 to put up a touchdown. They carry it on 1st down, but nothing much. It'll bring up 2nd down for Claremont. 2nd and about 8 yards to go. Spotted on the 5.
Ball carrier.
As Garrett Cheadle was in at QB, took a direct snap. Now Jake Norville goes back out there. Billy Lopez alongside Hal Hargrave. We're watching LVTV3 Laverne Community Television.
2 on the play.
Norville with the handoff to Spencer Sheff, who's wrapped up.
Front 7 for Laverne has done a great job of containing the run of this CMS team here tonight. 31 carries, 74 total yards on the ground, and just averaging 2.4 yards a carry has been CMS. Laverne has 3 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss. Their front 7's getting a push up front, and their linebackers are doing the rest by getting good fits.
That's a positive sign moving forward. Something they've struggled with was containing the run against Redlands and Chapman. Able to do so here against CMS.
They're pointing to the offensive side of the ball of CMS is Laverne.
False start. Offense. Number 63. Half the distance to the goal line. 3rd down.
Bring up 3rd down. Verne trying to get a big 3rd down stop here. Sideline with their chance, trying to get the crowd into it. 3rd and 9, ball spot on CMS 4. Norville drops back, looks up the middle, nearly gets sacked for a safety. He's gonna scramble out to the left side, still on his feet, running to the left sideline, out of bounds, 1st down. And a huge play for a scrambling Norville.
And that does not look like a freshman at the helm if you are CMS. This is a guy that was nearly down inside the goal line for what would have been a safety. He breaks free, breaks a couple tackles, used the shifty moves. He gets upfield and nearly out to the 30-yard line. Norville on a 3rd and long, putting Laverne in a bad way.
Yeah, Norville not known for his scrambling ability, but so far in this game showing that he can be a dual threat. 1st and 10, ball spotted on the CMS 26. Norville with the handoff to the left side. Christian Curcio, sophomore running back.
Good motion there by CMS. Has Laverne cheating to the wide side of the field. It's Curcio who motions from right to left. Comes off the left edge, and Laverne again shooting himself in the foot with another defensive penalty and giving more yards to this CMS team. If it's not a big play on 3rd down, they're certainly given to him by virtue of penalty.
You know, we talk about the time possession that CMS was able to possess in the 1st half, gathering up 21 minutes in that 1st half. They're chewing up a lot of clock here, under 6 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Norville with the handoff to the left side. It's Curcio again. Spin move, picks him up about 4 yards.
It's a pretty simple game. You keep the ball out of the offense of Laverne's hands, and it makes it very easy to maintain control of a game that you are leading.
We'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and about 6 yards to go. As CMS is trying to get across midfield, ball spotted on their own 44. There's Cheadle, the ball carrier, on the handoff from Norville, running on the right side, trying to move the pile along. Refs will blow that one down.
Making the tackle.
It'll bring up a big 3rd down now, 3rd and 5. 4:40 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. CMS has the lead and the ball, 11-7. Laverne has been unable to stop on 3rd down.
Still yet to see Trey Smith's name called here today. He's been active for the main part of the game, but has not got involved with the game plan.
Norville with the snaps, scrambles to his left, throws towards his left, to his intended receiver, was Trey Smith the first time that they targeted him, but it was well short of him.
Smith has got to be a guy that you go to if you are a CMS quarterback. He was open, came out of the break, and it was Norville just a little too late on the throw, and outstretched Smith, unable to come up with a catch.
So CMS electing to go with their punting unit. Torrey Hilbert D-back to receive.
Tommy Weisenfeld's punt formation.
4:19 remaining in the third quarter. A punt's up, and it's a good one. Torrey Hilbert will watch it bounce. It's going to stay in bounds, and this one's going to walk Laverne inside the 5 again.
Saw Hilbert come up and try to make the initial attempt at it, but a CMS roll will start the Leopards back within their own 5, and the Leopards coming off what was a long change of field position for CMS. They've got a rested offense coming out onto the field, and Sam Taylor has got to be looking to these receivers for more than just short gains here. You'd like to see him get back to that aggressive play calling to get out of harm's territory here.
So it's 1st and 10, ball spotted on the Laverne 4. The last time they were pinned inside the 5. Martavius Holiday was wrapped up for a safety. Michael Medina in the backfield for Laverne. A handoff to Medina on the left side. He's going to get through into the secondary for a nice first down run.
Medina always seems to run to the opposite side of his protection. For whatever the reason is, he sees big holes on these cutbacks, and he's able to get off to the races and pick up big yardage.
It'll bring up 2nd and 1. Taylor going to the left side with the pass. It's complete. First down for Laverne. Tackle made right around the 20-yard line.
Pass is complete. John Logan. Lucas Slivtek.
John Logan with the reception. And the short pickup. 1st and 10, ball spotted on the 18. Taylor in at quarterback. Fake handoff to Medina. They look to the left side again. There's Brandon Long, his first reception. A lot of movement, but unable to pick up any decent yardage.
Long looking shifty there for a couple of seconds. Unfortunately for him, it was east and west shifts rather than north and south.
Slight gain on the play.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 9. Ball on the Laverne 19. Under 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. CMS 11, Laverne 7. Sam Taylor, the sophomore quarterback, trying to lead Laverne in this drive to regain the lead that they once had at 7-6. Taylor's going to take a shot deep down the field. The pass was intended for Jaime Val, the junior wide receiver out of Chino, California, but great coverage down the field.
For Valle, running a streak down that right side, and it looked like he pulled up a bit and not expecting that ball to be thrown for him. It was a good-looking ball by Taylor. See Val outstretched there on the diving attempt. If he continues to run, that might be a back shoulder call for Valle and the Leopard offense.
Victor Bunce on the cover, the senior defensive back, able to protect it. Taylor drops back, empty backfield. He's going to scramble to his right. Looking down the field, he's going to let it go. Intended for Boucher, but it's going to sail out of bounds.
It's actually a good job by Brandon Long to work his way back to the ball. You can see him looking over at Taylor. Hey, I was open. Taylor had his eyes fixated well downfield, and Long was sitting there right at the first down marker. Another missed opportunity for the Leopards.
So Laverne picked up a first down, and then after that, nothing much. 2:21 remaining in the third, and Russell Boucher, the punter, is in to punt again. We'll see if this one's more of the conventional one. Boucher with a booming punt. And it's going to take a nice bounce. Alex Olivas will pick it up.
Good job by Boucher there to change field position. Mind you, this is a guy kicking at 10 yards there. More typically, you would see 15 to 17 yards from a punter. Boucher, one step, and he kicks, and he changed field position well for Laverne to give their defense a shot to take a breather.
CMS will start at their own 38, 1st and 10. 2:12 on the clock in the third quarter. Jake Norville in at quarterback. Garrett Cheadle in the backfield. Norville's going to take it himself. He's got a big hole on the right end. He's going to run to the sideline past the 40 and tiptoes out of bounds shy of the 30 into Laverne territory.
I am very surprised the stat sheet indicates this guy is only 2.5 yards a scramble. This guy has got some legs, and he's showing some good promise for this CMS team. He's off to the races. He's beaten linebackers, and really only cornerbacks are able to keep up with this guy once he finds open field.
And that could be that it's just limited time that he has seen in at quarterback, as Sam Healy, 6 games played, 66 out of 122, getting primarily a majority of the snaps. Norville's just getting a chance to showcase his skills, as here's a handoff up the middle for a pickup of about 4.
Minimal yardage on first down has been the tell story of the game for CMS. They've been able to get small chunks of yardage, and it really manipulates how they're able to call conducive play calling to their style later in downs. You look at them, they rattle off 3 to 4 yards a carry on some of these first downs. It puts them in 3rd and short situations more times than not.
And not only that, but their offense is starting to get that engine moving. They had 103 total yards in the first half. They have 76 here just in the third. As here's another handoff. This one's going to get them a first down. They're just shy of the 20, knocking on the door of the red zone.
This is a guy I'd expect to see more of here in the second half. He's got healthy legs, and this guy has broken some big tackles for big games. He did it in the return game right here on the left edge. He fights upfield for another first down. Option here.
And there's Norville once again scrambling up the middle. Had the option to toss it over to Jordan Leonard. So the freshman putting in work here. Both Norville at quarterback and Leonard in at running back.
Leopards need a big stand here. They've got to find a way to limit this to just a field goal and keep it at a one-possession game.
2nd and 3, ball spot on the 15. Here's the handoff to Leonard on the left side. They stop him at 3rd. Martinez gets the tackle. Austin Brown was in there as well. And that's going to bring up 3rd down. But before we get to that big 3rd down play, that's going to be the end of the third quarter. The score is Claremont Mud Scripps 11, Laverne 7. You're watching SkyAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Al, what's going to be the key in that 4th quarter for both sides to get away with a win?
It starts with the first play. If you're Laverne, it's a big stop you've got to make here on 3rd down. You got to expect with the kicking game of Allen and CMS, this is not 4-down territory. They're going to take the points, but if this gets into a shootout where Laverne's going to have to put up at bare minimum 7 points or more come time of the 4th quarter, Laverne's not going to be in a good way. They're going to have to pin their ears back here, get up on the line of scrimmage, cause some disruption, because you know CMS is going to another handoff here. They've had minimal yardage for passing here tonight, 41 total yards through the air. They're 4 of 12. That's not their game plan. That's not what they're here to do. They're here to hand the ball off. If you're Laverne, you stack the box, you make a big play on 3rd down, and that starts the rest of the game for you.
And if Laverne can hold CMS to a field goal, that'll put it at a 14-7 score. You got to figure that Matthew Simcoe will be the quarterback coming in the 4th quarter, trying to look deep down the field for more of an aerial attack for Laverne.
Laverne's only seen 2 drives here in the second half. And for them, they've gone 2 drives, 2 drives, 2 drives, rotating between quarterbacks. So Simcoe's the next guy in line you'll see if they really put a reliance on Simcoe.
There's Garrett Cheadle on the direct snap. He's going to get the first down. That'll move the chains.
Garrett Cheadle, the ball carrier.
By virtue of the intermission of the quarters, you gave your defense a break for a second, but Laverne has got to find a way to get their defense off the field. Now 30 minutes of possession time for CMS tonight, just 13 for Laverne. At some point, when are you going to finally break if you're Laverne? You've been bending thus far, but this defense can only last on that motor for so long.
So it'll be first and goal, ball spotted on the 7-yard line. CMS now working from left to right towards the north end of the field. There's the handoff to Chef, who's going to try to bolt his way into the end zone. He's going to be held just short of a touchdown. It'll bring up second down.
Spencer Chef, the ball carrier.
This should be a no-huddle call here. Get up on the line of scrimmage, hand the ball off to one of your big backs, and just punch it right in. For CMS, this is the exact way you want to start your fourth quarter. You're looking like you're going to punch one in now. This is going to be a 2-possession game. You can rely on the defense that has done good things for you thus far here tonight as you head into the latter part of this game.
And not only that, if they could make it a 2-possession game, they can rely on their run game to chew up a lot of clock once they get the ball back. Big play here, second and goal, 2 yards to go. Norville with the handoff. There's the leaping Chef trying to bolt into the end zone, and he does.
Chef, he's leaped the pile multiple times today. None more important than those couple yards that he's able to pick up and find the end zone. Chef here today, more than 52 yards on the ground, now with a touchdown. Him and Norville have been the premier backs for CMS. It's been Norville's running ability as a quarterback that's been able to manage the clock here in the second half.
Take a look at that replay. About the 4th time he's gone to that leap, but it's been the dual combination of Spencer Chef and Garrett Cheadle. Both have a touchdown early on. The kick from Allen is up and no good. He misses another point after.
And that changes the face of this game a lot. That's 2 misses now for CMS. And now it makes it a 10-point game, and it really changes how this game looks if you're Laverne. It's not go down and score and need another score at this point. You could have gone down, scored, gone for 2. But if you're Laverne now, you call your game how you need to, and you can rely on that big foot of Eric Rembecki if it comes down to it late in the game to tie this thing up.
Yeah, and if you go right here on this drive and you're in field goal position, tough with the 4th down conversion, you don't have to automatically go for it. You can elect to go with the field goal now, get your 3 points, and then work on that touchdown later. We'll see how Coach Creek and this offense works here in the 4th quarter. 13:35 remaining. CMS has their largest lead of the game. It's 17-7. Billy Lopez alongside Hal Hargrave. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3 Laverne Community Television. Mitchell Allen in for the kickoff, deep back is Torrey Hilbert, or rather Dejon Logan. Dejon Logan will receive it around the 5-yard line. He's gonna elect to go up the middle, gets pulled by his jersey, and then he's gonna back trail around the 15.
Special teams have not been a bright spot in today's game. Aside from one big return out to midfield for Laverne, they've fumbled on the opening kickoff of the game. They've been unable to establish that good field position for their offense here tonight. Matthew Simcoe coming back out on the field for the Leopards.
And that's exactly what we had expected. Simcoe, now a 2-possession game. You need to go back to your aerial attack. Simcoe drops back, looking left, is gonna let it go. Finds his receiver, that's the sophomore Grayson Klein for first down and more as they cross midfield.
Good crossing routes there downfield between Grayson Klein and that out on the left flank of Mason Thomas, and a good job by Klein to flatten out the top of that route. Simcoe drops the ball right in, and a quick 25-yard dash gets Laverne out past midfield.
Simcoe with again, drops back, looking right. Through behind Grayson Klein. If it was running right with him, he was wide open.
wide open he was, but that back shoulder throw is a spot where the ball's not going to be intercepted. There's that old saying, if you can touch it, you can catch it. That needs to be a completed pass.
So 2 receivers up top to the right. John Logan down to the left. It's the handoff to Michael Medina. Finds traffic up the middle, tries to cut back to the right, and is going to be wrestled to the ground.
Medina finding no daylight there. Now if you're Laverne, you're looking at 3rd and long. About 12:40 left in the game. Gotta assume this isn't 4-down territory yet when you have a guy like Boucher who can down it inside their zone. But quite honestly, points are needed and essential at this point of the game.
So here's Simcoe looking right, throwing deep right, and this one's gonna be picked off at the 20. Across the 30, the 40. Cutting back to the right side, passes midfield. He's gonna get through the 30, Russell Boucher. The receiver's gonna force him out of bounds right at the 20. Huge play for CMS.
A tough play there by Matt Simcoe, throwing back across his body, but more importantly, back to the middle of the field. Doesn't see that undercutting safety there. An easy return after a big pick, and CMS
Take a look.
putting this game in harm's way.
Gino Quaid, the senior defensive back out of Lake Forest, Illinois, making the play of the game. First and 10, ball spotted on the Laverne 24. Garrett Cheadle in at quarterback. He's gonna hand it off to Spencer Sheff on the left side. Hilbert with the tackle.
Ball carrier.
We'll bring up 2nd and 13. After one go with Garrett Cheadle, we're gonna go back to the freshman Jake Norville. Ball spot on the 27, loss of 3 yards on the carry by Cheadle. It's a handoff on the right side. There's Spencer Sheff with a good spin move to keep himself moving forward. Laverne able to contain the run. Or bring up 3rd down.
Gotta keep your head up while tackling. It was Torrey Hilbert there that tried to go to that leg shot to that of Sheff. Granted, this is a big back you're trying to take down. You're certainly gonna wear some punishment trying to go head up with this guy, but ankle tackles are not gonna do it for you.
And a big 5-yard penalty on the Laverne defense is gonna allow CMS to pick up an easy 5. They'll set up 2nd down. 2nd and about 8 yards to go. Norville in the backfield. Takes the snap, fakes the handoffs, looking deep to the right. It's gonna be just out of reach of the intended receiver in the end zone. It'll bring up 3rd and 7.
It was the big tight end Cheesla on the corner route, trying to go to that back corner of the end zone. Good thrown ball by Norville. He threw it to a place where only Cheesla was being able to catch it. But another 3rd down call coming up for CMS. And this is 4-down territory for them too.
11:03 remaining in the game. CMS 17, Laverne 7. CMS scoring on their last possession, trying to convert back-to-back. Norville in at quarterback. Garrett Cheadle in the backfield alongside to his left. And Norville's gonna take it himself. Scramble, cutbacks to the left. He's gonna dive and walk right into the end zone. There was a flag in the back.
I think this is illegal hands in the face, maybe on Laverne.
Offense, number 65. 10-yard
Nullifying the
penalty,
touchdown.
3rd down. Number 63 of Claremont must come off the field for 1 play to his helmet coming off.
So a huge penalty that might save Laverne early right now. 10:55 remaining. It was going to be a walk in the park for Jake Norville into the end zone. Now they're going to have to set up here, 3rd and long.
For Laverne, talk about a big play. You got to wonder, this guy's helmet comes off. You don't get an illegal hands to the face penalty called. Instead, you get the benefit of the doubt of a holding call. So now you're looking at 3rd and long, and this is out of field goal range. So you're looking at 4-down territory for your CMS.
Here's the snap. Norville drops back, looking midfield. It's going to scramble out of the pocket up the middle. Escapes to the right, breaks one tackle. Unable to break the second one. Torrey Hilbert able to prevent him from moving any forward.
It was Dalton Johnson who initially came up and had the initial contact with Norville to slow him down. Johnson nearly broke the ball free. And that might be a play of the game that Laverne needs to see at some point, is a turnover. They're going for the long field goal here. They're lining up for a 45-yarder.
Crowd chanting, block that kick. Game rests on the leg of Mitchell Allen. The kick is nearly blocked, and it's up and no good. They're able to force Mitchell Allen to push it to the right side. The wind was blowing that way, and it's a huge defensive holdup if you're Laverne.
Good job by Torrey Hilbert coming off the edge and providing that pressure. And that is a huge stop for the Laverne defense that had 0 answers for the CMS team to start the second half. They come up big there and they say, offense, it's on you now.
So Laverne will take over on downs. Simcoe in at quarterback. Immediate pass onto the right side, a little wide receiver screen. Trying to break the tackle, unable to do so. Nonetheless, a good pickup for Laverne on 1st down. Laverne going no huddle. Here's a quick handoff. Left side, getting tripped up in the backfield.
James Gonzalez, ball carrier.
James Gonzalez, sophomore running back out of Martinez, California. Getting tripped up. Getting his first look in the backfield this game.
Out to the 37.
First and 10 for Laverne. Simcoe with the handoff to Gonzalez on the right side. Hurdles one. Stagg unable to get through the secondary.
Gonzalez, good job of keeping his legs moving even after initial contact. Picks up an extra couple yards. And now for Laverne, looking at a short call here behind the play of Matt Simcoe.
Second and about 4 yards to go. Under 9 minutes. Here's another handoff to the right side. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to be close. I'm going to say just short of a 1st down. It'll bring up 3rd and about 1.
Surprise Laverne not utilizing more of that aerial attack when time has become of the essence. Here going to that ground game, seeing positive results, but you got to wonder at this stage of the game, are you running too much off the clock?
And if you're Simcoe, you got to throw that interception behind you. Can't let it stay lingering in your head. You see someone down the field, you got to find them. 3rd and 3. Simcoe looking left, a quick pass. Skips one tackle, darts across, right around midfield, good enough for the 1st down.
If you're Laverne here, everything you do, I'd assume from here on out, it's got to be no huddle for them.
That was the freshman Nathaniel Sagastume.
There's a flag on the play.
Pause, waiting for the flag that was thrown in the back.
During the play, personal foul, offense, number 55. 15-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That sends Laverne back for a long third down. Exactly 8 minutes remaining in the game. It's a 2-possession game. They need a field goal and a touchdown to tie. 3rd and 15, ball on their own 30. Simcoe in at quarterback, drops back. Gonna stay in the pocket, throws, and just out of the reach of Jelani Garnett.
Really working against the clock at this point. Laverne shooting themselves in the foot. Last week it was penalties that killed them. Here is no different. 6 penalties for 40 yards. The most recent one, the biggest one of all. 15 yards on the unsportsmanlike conduct missed penalty. Not only does it put them in a 3rd and long situation, now you're opting to go to a punt in a time where you need points.
Russell Boucher into punt. The punt was somewhat blocked. Just got a fingertip on it, and it's gonna set up CMS right around midfield. .7:35 remaining in the game. CMS 17, Laverne 7. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
Jake Norville. Quarterback.
Jake Norville in at quarterback. 1st and 10 right at midfield. Hand off to Spencer Sheff on the right side, and a nice tackle in the backfield will lock him up.
Good job coming up and getting into the backfield and causing disruption. Andrew Camarco there getting a tackle for a loss on a guy that has been tough to bring down tonight. He goes shoestring tackle, holds on for dear life and doesn't let go.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Ball on CMS's 47-yard line. CMS working from left to right. Norville with the snap's gonna have to shoo it off to Leonard on the left end, and he's gonna break free. We'll say his tippy toe would step on the line. Otherwise, he had nothing but the end zone ahead of him.
This is a guy that has absolute breakaway speed. You saw it in the return game. And this is a freshman. I can promise you this guy is going to cause some havoc for the next 3 years as a back.
Take a look at the replay right there. There's Jordan Leonard just picking up yard after yard all game long. It's been a lot of freshmen here for CMS. They got a bright future ahead of themselves. Play of quarterback Jake Norville. See Leonard as the running back on the option on the left side in the pass replay. 3rd and 3 to go. Norville with Leonard in the backfield. Norville's gonna run right, toss it to Leonard in the back. He's gonna lose it, picks it up. That's gonna wrap him up for 4th down.
Jordan Leonard, ball carrier. Lost back to the 49. Lost about 6 yards on the play. Brings up a 4th, about 8.
Good job by Laverne to force a punt there and a near chance for them to pick up a fumble recovery on the option. It was a good job by the DN to come up and cause pressure on the quarterback to make him to opt to go to that pitch for Laverne. A good job by swarming to the ball, getting the stop, and forcing the punt. Time ticking away.
Just over 5.5 minutes remaining in the game. Torrey Hilbert deep back to receive for Laverne. Laverne trying to go with an all-out punt. Punt block.
Reset the play clock to 25 seconds. It will start on the snap.
The Laverne side is not happy with that.
Seems like CMS just got the benefit of probably 10 or 15 extra seconds ticked off the clock on that play.
And it's going to be another good punt that's going to force Laverne in their own 10-yard line. 5 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. It's now or never for Laverne in this one.
Laverne still going to have to go back to that aerial attack. We'll see Sam Taylor comes out on the field as they've gone 2 drives to 2 drives apiece, and it will be Taylor in the backfield, guy who doesn't have as much experience passing downfield tonight. He's got 9 attempts. He's 5 of 9 for 20 yards. He's going to need to start airing it out.
And on the season, a 39 completion percentage. Going to need to improve on that quickly as he drops back. Pass is thrown short, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for Brandon Long on the left side.
Pass intended for Brandon Long, incomplete.
2nd and 10, ball on their own 9-yard line. And for Laverne, you scored on the first play that you had in the first quarter, and then nothing since, as Sam Taylor's going to scramble out to the right side, keeps his eyes down the field, now he's going to take it and dive out of bounds as he scrambles for some yard.
Had receivers downfield too. He kept his eyes up, but it looked like he was looking back to the middle of the field. Had guys teetering on the sidelines there. Picks up a couple yards, falls out of bounds, but the clock's still ticking.
4:50 remaining in the game. 3rd and 6 for Laverne. Taylor's going to go deep down for Brandon Long, and it looked like Long got crossed up a little bit. He had his defender beat, unable to make the grab.
This is a 4th down call, and if you're Laverne, I'm not going to be surprised if you see Laverne opt to go to another fake punt here. Time is simply running out. You got 3 timeouts, but you're battling back from 2 possessions down. Taylor, what looked like a well-thrown ball there, and you see Brandon Long downfield, unable to adjust to the throw of Taylor.
So Russell Boucher deep back to punt, 4th and 6. Boucher with the punt. The reception by CMS at their own 45, and nothing much after that, so Laverne's going to have to rely on their defense to make a play.
They're going to have to make a play quick. If you're CMS, there's no reason you don't go to the run for the first 3 plays of this drive. You do that, you force Laverne to not only take a timeout, but if you pick up a couple first downs, that really seals the game for you there. 3 timeouts apiece for both of these teams. Laverne not on the good end of the stick here.
1st and 10 for CMS. Ball on their own 48. Garrett Cheadle in at quarterback. Has yet to pass. Here's the direct snap. And the handoff to Spencer Sheff up the middle. We'll bring up 2nd down. Clock continues to run. 4:10 remaining in the game.
Getting about 5 on the play. All on the Laverne 47.
The Verne crowd has been silenced really since that 57-yard touchdown that they had on their first play of the game. 2nd and 5 for CMS. Cheadle with the fake handoff, going to take it himself up the middle, ducks underneath the tackle, has a 1st down and more. Torrey Hilbert can't bring him down. He continues to push forward and is tackled at the 20.
For Hilbert, seeing him try to rip that ball loose, but upon doing so, he's not wrapping up, and it's Cheadle who's able to rattle off another 10 yards on the run after the strip attempt.
3:39 remaining in the game.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 63, 15-yard penalty. It'll be first down. That is his first charge, unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct will take away 15 yards of the great run by Garrett Cheadle. Ball spotted on the 35. Cheadle still in at quarterback as you see the clock continue to tick away. Homecoming game for Laverne. We're trying to make it 3 straight homecoming wins here at Ortmeyer. Cheadle with the fake handoff to Chef. He's going to take it himself up the middle, gets tackled. Right at the 30.
CMS has played so sound tonight that there's no sense of even a big play or a big strip coming the way of Laverne. And unfortunately for them, the clock ticking now under 3 minutes with 2 possessions of needed points for Laverne. CMS could try to wrung this thing out.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 5. Ball just shy of the 30. It's marked on the 31-yard line. 2:39 remaining in the game. CMS 17, Laverne 7. Cheadle's going to take it himself to the left side. Picks up a block, tries to hurdle, but is tackled. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And Laverne's going to use their first timeout of the 2nd half. They'll have 2 remaining. It stops the ball and stops the clock on 3rd down. They need to get the stop here.
Here at the collegiate level, you don't get the added benefit of the 2-minute warning that you get in the NFL. So Laverne taking a pivotal timeout when need be. They're thinking that they're gonna force a punt here. And at that point, you've got to really hope that you can air this thing out, have a couple of big plays, recover an onside kick. Quite frankly, right now, if you're CMS, you're feeling pretty good about your odds here to pick up a win on the road.
CMS in great position, both with the field positioning and the scoreboard, and of course that clock. And it's been all game long. 37 minutes time of possession for CMS compared to Laverne 18. And that's what's going to help them carry themselves to a huge win here and move them over 500 in SCIAC play.
And they're doubling time of possession of Laverne. It makes it quite easy to just run the game how you want. They've done it on the ground. They've done it with small chunk yardage, and they've done it with just sound football up front.
Here's Jake Norville with the handoff to his freshman counterpart, Jordan Leonard. Laverne was able to stop him there. It'll bring up 4th down. And Laverne uses their 2nd charge timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. We'll see if CMS is in somewhat decent field goal positioning range for Mitchell Allen. He has missed twice, has converted once. It'll be a questionable play call. We'll see if they just try to run it regardless and chew up some clock.
Would think that'd be the smartest play call for them, because at this point, a 46, 47-yard field goal, if you push it wide right, they're going to get the ball all the way out to the 35 as it is. So if you're CMS, you got to figure you can pick up some positive yardage here and keep the clock moving. I would opt to go to the run here on 4th down.
Coach Sweeney electing what to do in his huddle. 2:15 remaining in the game. Crowd trying to get Laverne back into it right now.
First down here, game's over. They can kneel on it.
Norville in at quarterback.
Thomason in action. Phil Thomason. Class of 64 from Bend, Oregon.
Alongside Jordan Leonard in the backfield. The duo freshmen have been hurting Laverne all game long. This one's going to be completed on a slant for a first down, CMS.
And we said that a big play needed to come out of Trey Smith. If they wanted to seal this game, who do they go to when it's hanging in the balance? They go to their senior and their veteran, Mr. Reliable, Trey Smith. First time his name was called tonight, and quite frankly, the only one that mattered.
They'll bring in Garrett Cheadle now. Under 2 minutes now, 1:40 And CMS has got this one covered. Cheadle with the handoff on the left side, finding some decent yardage. On the carry was Christian Curcio, the sophomore running back out of New Jersey.
Curcio, ball carrier, second by Connor Truitt.
For CMS in this second half, I look back to the first half, Laverne defense able to hold them to 103 yards. While CMS in the second half is now close to doubling that total. They're just under 300 yards total for the game. .55 seconds remain. Cheadle in the backfield. Takes the snaps, gonna run it up the middle. Is tripped in the back.
Next week's schedule, all 7 o'clock kickoffs. Verne will be at Pomona Pitzer. Plymouth Mud Scripps will be at Chapman. And Whittier will be
So Laverne uses their final timeout with 46 seconds remaining. It'll be second down and 9 for CMS. Ball spotted on the 12-yard line. LVTV would like to thank Warehouse Pizza in Old Town Laverne for providing the crew food for today's game. Special thank you to Kenny. Coming into the second half, it was an 8-7 game. Laverne's offense putting up shutout in the third and in the fourth. CMS defense has been able to contain them. And CMS has been able to tack on 9 points in the second half. CMS gonna go with the knee. Jake Norville at quarterback. As the clock chews away, fans starting to file out of their seats, head back to their car and or down on the field and waiting for their players who are on the field. 20 seconds remaining in the game. CMS is going to take this one. Final score 17-7. They spoil the homecoming week and homecoming game for Laverne here at Ortmeyer. It was a defensive matchup. What'd you take away from the game, Hal?
Take away that there's still much to be done for Laverne. Obviously, that lack of identity of not having Robert Fernandez and your playmaker and Josh Evans. But what seemed like promising at the beginning of the game in terms of pocket passing ability of Matthew Simcoe was simply not relied upon enough in today's game. Now they go on to next week. They're going to have Pomona Pitzer in a tough battle. They'll end the season against Whittier, but really the verdict yet to be defined on this Laverne team. Are they a team that can compete with among the best in conference like we saw in the first half against Chapman, and a team that put up a good fight with CMS in the first half of this one? Seems like Laverne cannot put together a complete game that can really show us the type of team that they can and could be.
Yeah, scoring summary for you. On the first kickoff, Laverne was fumbled at CMS, able to get a turnover on the first play of the game that set up shop within the red zone, and Garrett Cheadle out of the Wildcat was able to score on that 2-yard rush. Mitchell Allen, point after, was blocked, so it was a 6-0 score. And then right after that, it was Simcoe connecting with Jelani Garnett, 57 yards, and it looked like Simcoe in the receiving core in this aerial attack of Laverne was going to be able to put up some big points here against CMS, who will look like struggling defensively early on, and it was a 7-6 game. But after that, it was nothing else from Laverne. And then CMS was able to convert and get Martavius Holiday in the end zone for a safety to make it an 8-7 game. Second half, Mitchell Allen connected from 43 yards on a field goal to make it 11-7. And then late here in the fourth quarter, 13:35 remaining in the game, Spencer Sheff with a 1-yard rush on the left end to make it a 17-7 game.
You know, much to be answered as the week goes on. You can only hope that the health of Josh Evans allows for him to be out on the field next week against Pomona Pitzer. But some things on the defensive side of the ball have really got to be shored up. 225 yards allowed on the ground, and offensively for Laverne. If it is going to be Matt Simcoe that's going to be your guy next week, go with him. Rely on him. Use his ability to throw downfield. He had 131 yards through the air today on just 8 completions. He knows how to spread the ball around. He's a guy who can throw downfield. He's a guy that you might need to put the ball in his hands and say, it's yours, kid, come next week.
So CMS improves to 4-3 overall, 3-2 in SCIAC. Laverne will drop to 2-4 overall, 1-3 in SCIAC. Final score here from Ortmeyer, 17-7. CMS gets Laverne here on their homecoming game. At the end of the game, the score is CMS 17, Laverne 7. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Billy Lopez alongside Hal Hargrave. Have a good night, everyone.